Hello, thank you for this opportunity. Today I'll be answering the question, what are the core components of a virtual machine and how will I use virtualization in a business setting? Let me start with the basics. A virtual machine or VM is basically a computer inside another computer. It acts like a real computer. You can install an operating system, run applications, and save files, but it doesn't need its own physical body or hardware. Instead, it shares the resources of the actual computer it lives on. So what makes a virtual machine work? Let's break it down into 8 core parts. The first and most important part is called the hypervisor. You can think of the hypervisor like the manager or middleman between the real computer and the virtual machines. It's a piece of software that allows one physical computer to run many virtual machines at once. There are two types of hypervisors. We have the type 1 hypervisor, which is also known as the bare metal hypervisor, which runs directly on the hardware with no extra software needed. This is usually used in large companies or data centers. Example of a type 1 hypervisor is the Microsoft Hyper-V. We also have the type 2 hypervisor, which is also known as the hosted hypervisor, which runs on top of your normal operating system like the Mac or Windows. You might also use this in your personal computer with softwares like VirtualBox. The second core component of a virtual machine is the virtual hardware. Each virtual machine needs its own virtual hardware, which is really just a copy of the physical part of the computer. In the virtual hardware, the virtual machine uses part of the real CPU, which is called the virtual processor. We also have the virtual memory, like a temporary storage while program runs. And we also have the virtual hard drive, where files and operating systems are stored. We have a virtual network card that lets the VM or the virtual machine connect to the internet or other devices. These are not real parts, but they behave the same way. The hypervisor divides up the physical computer's resources and shares them among all the virtual machines. The third core component is the guest operating system. Virtual machines need a guest operating system just like a regular computer. This could be Windows, Linux, or any other OS you wish to install. What is interesting is that you can run a Linux VM inside a Windows computer. That's very helpful for people working in IT who needs to test different systems. The fourth part is the virtual disk file. Instead of having the physical hard drive, a VM stores everything in a virtual disk file. This is a single file on the main computer that acts like the VM's entire hard drive. It also holds the OS, applications, and all your data. Because it's just a file, it's very easy to copy, backup, or move into another computer. How I will use virtualization in a business setting. One of the biggest benefits of virtualization is saving money and speed. Imagine a business that needs 5 different servers for email, file storage, accounting software, backups, and testing. Instead of buying 5 physical computers, which is expensive, they can go ahead and do the server consolidation, which is they can buy one powerful server, install a hypervisor, create 5 virtual machines on it. Each does its job separately, but they all run on one machine. Virtualization also helps in disaster recovery or data recovery. Since the VM is just a file, you can back it up regularly if something goes wrong, like virus or system crash. You can simply restore the backup and then it's back running quickly. Some systems even allow live migrations, which is you can move a running VM to another machine without turning it off. That means there is no downtime for the business. We can also use virtualization in testing and training. Let's say a developer wants to try a new app, or HIT wants to test a new security update. Instead of risking the real system, they can test it on a virtual machine. If it breaks, no problem. Just delete the VM and start fresh. This creates a safe environment for learning and testing. And finally, virtualization helps with security. By using virtual machine, a company can isolate sensitive systems. If a VM gets infected or hacked, it won't necessarily spread to other computers. A virtual machine includes a hypervisor, virtual hardware, a guest operating system, a virtual storage, and optional tools. Businesses can use virtualization to cut costs, increase flexibility, improve disaster recovery, and run multiple systems more efficiently. As someone prepares for career in IT support and system administration, understanding how virtualization or virtual machines works and how to use them in real life scenarios is one of the valuable skills I'm building. Thank you for your time.